Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about My Hero Academia Season 6, which is on episode 22 or episode 135. Now, this episode right here was actually pretty good. Depending on the situation, how you look at it, it could be pretty bad in terms of like how it was in the direction of the situation. So, if anything else, let's get this started right away. We have to that Lady Nagant gives her information to Deku and the others aware. Off one and the possibly other villains are at or something. However, they all enter the mansion where Lady Nagant mentioned. However, like I said, and repeating myself, sorry. All for one anticipated or predicted that this would happen. He leaves a couple words of behind to like Deku saying, "I'm not interested in All Might anymore. I'm gonna say this. You're next for me to." You are next to become my target, and it blows up. The entire mansion blows up, which they barely actually able to escape or something, which is really insane here and there. After the opening here and there, we have to it that the heroes, along with Mount Lady, and then Kamui Woods and many other heroes, are like trying to figure out what to do next. Figuring out what's the next move. However, they ask a couple questions about maybe we could work with others to to fill in about what one for all really is, However, it's not really is the case here and there because it's not as simple as it is because a lot of heroes are retiring. Look at what happened to Death Arms. He really couldn't handle the pressure from other people and he just gave up. He hung up his costume, hung up his cape, and that is really sad to see. But it is what it is. Sometimes not everyone is built for true mental fortitude kind of thing, Especially Mount Lady was asking a question, why wouldn't All for One send out the message about why he wouldn't allow Deku to be about the information about Deku and One for All. However, Endeavor believes that if All for One did not do that yet, he knows that it won't be a good idea. So the fact that he has not done that yet shows that he's very cautious about it, not wanting to see what's going on here and there, And we have to it that eventually Endeavor gets some texting and calls from from his son Shoto, wondering hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? That kind of thing. We see to it that Hawks get a phone call from All Might that they end up getting a call from All Might saying that Deku has defeated a second hired gun no tomorrow, And we have to it that that Deku decides to leave All Might behind, but All Might's hey, wait, let me help you. You haven't eaten yet, but Deku's I don't need it. I don't need you near me, okay? And this caves into Midoriya's paranoia because after what happened to Lady Nagant and what All for One said to freaking Deku or something like that, it's causing Deku to want to separate himself, which is exactly what All for One wants. This is just this is exactly how All for One is a stunning, cunning strategist because we all know how All for One works. The guy loves to put simple pieces on the chessboard or something and make Deku make people and find a way to put them in a checkmate eventually, And that's what he's doing to Deku right now. And Deku's okay, I don't care. I'll take on anyone if I have to, And this actually brings in a lot of pressure on Deku, not only mentally, but also physically as well. In the human body, if Deku was at 100%, which he is not, sadly and apparently, it wouldn't be a problem for him to fight alone, now and then. However, in terms of trying to reserve his strength and all, he's not stopping, Even Endeavor tries to tell Deku, hey man, you gotta take it easy right now. If you freaking fight as you are now, it'll be exactly what they want you to do. But Deku's if I could still move and breathe, I could still fight, So he decides to continue to ignore the pleas from Endeavor, while the other All for One previous users was trying to tell Deku, hey man, you gotta take it easy. Don't freaking pressure yourself into oblivion right now kind of thing, However, Deku ignores them and runs off. We had that the One for All users talk amongst themselves to see how bad the situation is, especially for Deku himself, because not looking good, and he's really starting to suffocate mentally and physically. And I could just tell from the start, everyone agrees with me, right? But we have to it that one of the users of One for All says the path he's going on is the right one. Look what's happening to the situation right now. At this point, he can't stand still. He has to keep going and keep moving, because that's how bad it was. That's how bad it is right now. However, that One for All previous user says, well, there's one thing I think should be done before all things, if anything, you know. And we have to it that Deku finds another hired gun to fight against Deku, you know, or should I say Deku finds another hired gun to fight against him, you know. And we see to it eventually that that Deku was about to get ready to fight, but he's really exhausted and tired, you know, which I don't blame him for, because he must have been fighting for days non-stop without any rest and barely anything to eat, you know, kind of thing, etc. You get the idea. And we have to it eventually that that he was about to be swarmed in by that villain's quirk, and how he's controlling them like puppets, you know. You get the idea. You see a bunch of strings on them, etc. They end up screaming and apologizing to him for unable to control their body. And we had to it eventually that that someone else comes in and manages to knock out the guy once and for all, and it was Bakugo, man. I was like, oh my gosh, he made it, dude. Thank goodness. And we see to it, we get to see a flashback about Class 1A talking amongst themselves about where's Deku, All Might, and the others, you know, such as Endeavor and Best Genius and Hawks. Tokoyami, Shoto, and Bakugo actually was trying to get in contact with their respective mentors here and there, or should I say people that they worked under, you know, like Shoto trying to contact Endeavor, Tokoyami trying to contact Hawks, and Bakugo trying to contact Best Genius. However, it's not working so well, and they end up being upset about the situation. Bakugo explains to everyone that I'm pretty sure that All Might and Deku's working together because I know them best more than anything. Eventually, we see to it that Uraraka says, hey, Endeavor is a UA graduate, right? I think it's time that we force the issue instead. And we had to it, Endeavor gets set up by Class 1A and freaking Nezu, you know? We have to it that Endeavor's like, you just set me up here, what's the deal here? We have to it that Nezu explains the situation of what's going on, and I think you should hear them out. Shoto or Todoroki goes to Endeavor and says, hey, what are you doing? How come you not been contacting me or answering my phone calls or texts, huh? Didn't you and I agree that we will stop Toya Need together? And we have to it that Endeavor's like, your words actually saved me a lot, you know, so I don't understand why, and I don't really get the idea from. But however, Todoroki's like, no, you don't get the idea. I don't feel like I'm doing anything at all. So is All Might and Deku or Midoriya working together? We have to it that Endeavor's silence was already an answer, and Bakugo therefore tells Endeavor, you know, it might be the right answer or right call for you to make. However, you don't understand the thing about Deku at all. The guy's freaking crazy. He never takes an account to himself all the time, and he ends up having to work in the same way like how All Might was when he was a symbol of peace. Endeavor, we can't just leave them by themselves. You know that. We have to it that eventually that Endeavor brings out a phone where they could possibly get in touch or find Deku, and they all say that they're gonna go after Deku because he's not just our classmate, he's our friend. He's not someone that we're gonna leave behind and let him walk a path that might be very thorny, or a path that will leave him in danger here and there, you know. And we have to it that Endeavor tries to convince him otherwise, that the world out there is really crazy and lawless. You don't understand the situation here. Nezu, on the other hand, says otherwise, saying that he believes that they could do this, and that ever since the attack on USJ, there's something that Nezu wanted to work on, you know, or try out. It's something that he wanted to give a test drive on. So he gives Class 1A to bring Midoriya back because ever since he got enrolled to UA, he was under the protection. He was under the protection, you know. that kind of thing. And we had to it that Class 1A shows up, apprehended the villain, and then Deku's like, hey, what are you guys here, you know? And Uraraka or Uravity says, we were worried about you. What else do you think? What do you expect? And Deku's like, don't worry about me. I'm fine. You guys need to go back. However, Bakugo mocks him saying, oh, yay, nice job about the idea one for all user, you know, successor, yada, yada, yada. But we have to it, Bakugo therefore says, but can you tell me now? Are you smiling now? Kind of thing. And we had to it that like Deku says, in order for people to live, in order to smile, in order to keep going, in order for people to live in peace and get back to their daily lives, I have to keep moving forward, you know, that kind of thing. So pretty much like Deku's not gonna stop, obviously, from the get go. I mean, like you could really tell, you could just tell right now, etc. But we have to it that Deku was not gonna back down, obviously, you know, that kind of thing. However, like when he's getting ready to go into action and possibly fight Class 1A, they all get ready to get into action too, realizing that he's not going to listen to reason, etc., because they know how he is, kind of thing, you know? Even Ida knows that as well. So we have to it, everyone gets ready to like stop Deku in his tracks and bring him back to UA, kind of thing, you know, etc. So everyone therefore gets ready to combat against him or try to bring him back in the peaceful way, but I'm afraid it's not gonna be as easy as it looks, you know. Preview next episode, not gonna say anything because it's already obvious from the get-go. Anyways, thought the episode was pretty slick and cool, you know, etc. Even though Ulf 1 is a stunning, cunning strategist, not everything goes the way he wants it to because others won't allow it. So until then, people, I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out. Bye bye. Toot toot.